What up, everybody? Just that quick, and we're to episode 5 of the final season of Force. And with it being the mid-season finale, we got to believe that there could potentially be a major death this episode, and also something that shifts the storyline to where Tommy becomes a lone wolf in the second half of the season. Could we also see Tommy getting a call from Kate this episode and heading back to New York? As it was said in episode 4 that Kate was still in New York. The episode 4 description reads, Diamond and Gennard strengthened their relationship over a common enemy, while Tommy ties up a loose end. So that loose end that Tommy ties up could potentially be one of the Flynn siblings. Keeping in mind, it was the season 2 mid-season finale when Vic killed Walter last season. Vic ended up killing Walter while Claudia had a plan to have both Walter and Vic taken out. But when it comes to Vic and Claudia Flynn, the streets need a body. So I think there's a good chance that one of them gets taken out this episode. Either though the Flynns could end up being the Dreys of Force, where a lot of people are just waiting to see them get taken out. The episode 4 trailer starts out with Tommy on the phone while also watching somebody from a distance with binoculars. Since Tommy was stalking Claudia, watching her as she was getting released from jail at the end of episode 4, that's also most likely who he's watching from a distance with the binoculars. But at the same time, it could also be Tommy watching Diamond now that he likely doesn't trust him as much, and watching Diamond make moves behind his back while calling him on the phone, only for Diamond to not pick up or to lie about what he's doing. The next clip from the trailer shows Elise and Claudia arguing, with Claudia now out of jail, but still conflict between her and Elise. Because at this point, it's just more than obvious that Elise isn't built for the life at all. And she's telling Claudia that he wants to kill her. This is most likely talking about Tommy, but the fact that Claudia has now agreed to testify against Roberto Ortega, she might have more problems on her hands than just Tommy. And she better hope that those marshals who were watching her when she was getting released at the end of episode 4 are real close by at all times. Because in Power, when Dre agreed to testify against Alicia Jimenez and her cartel, he had hitters coming for him at his home, and even when he was put in protective custody at a safe house with the marshals watching him. So with Ortega being a cartel boss himself, Claudia could potentially have the same type of heat coming for her. But after Elise said that, Claudia tells Elise that she has to serve up Tommy first to get them off her back. Most likely talking about the feds and Stacy Marks when she says them, because the fact she's likely on a very short leash being released out of custody. So the fact that Claudia said she has to serve up Tommy first lets us know that she has a second move planned, which could potentially be trying to flee Chicago and hide somewhere with a fake identity to avoid testifying against Ortega and the Marquez cartel after she gets Stacy and the feds off her back a little bit. But concerning Stacy, she also has her own problems to deal with other than just Claudia Flynn, because the trailer shows Stacy speaking at a press conference for the mayor election and talking about being committed to lowering the violent crime rate in the city of Chicago. And while she's speaking at this press conference, members of the Chicago PD are there and they turned their back on her as she was speaking, indicating that the Chicago PD doesn't support her in her run for mayor. Keeping in mind, it's been said that Stacy at one point had a case against the Chicago PD, and I don't believe it was said what this case was in regards to, but it most likely had something to do with the corruption in the Chicago PD. Keeping in mind it was revealed in episode 3 that the 9-7 street gang are affiliated with the Chicago PD. And also, going back to season 1, the Flynns always had Chicago PD on their payroll, to the point when Claudia got arrested at the end of season 2, she told Bobby DeFranco half of the Chicago PD was on her family's payroll. After the trailer shows the Chicago PD turning their backs on Stacy while she's giving her speech, it shows her talking to somebody, most likely either the police commissioner or chief, who tells Stacy if she wants their support, then she has to play ball. So Stacy will have to meet the demands of the Chicago PD and the police chief in some type of way if she wants to get their support, and she needs their support to get elected. Then the trailer shows Vic talking to a couple guys from his crew from the Northside Irish and telling them he's working another angle to get rid of Egan. Keeping in mind, Vic is pissed off about Tommy taking his bars and giving them to the Albanians, and he mentioned a couple episodes ago that his guys were pressing him about it. And the trailer shows Vic's crew continuing to press him about it, with one telling Vic that Tommy's walking all over him and another telling him that they need a leader. So Vic tells his crew that they're going to hit Tommy where it hurts. So Vic could potentially be signing his death certificate, trying to make a move against Tommy, going to show that Tommy keeping Vic alive in the first place was a mistake, just like he kept Elise alive when he caught her trying to record him in episode 4. Keeping in mind, one of the reasons why Tommy made it this far and survived OG Power was because he eliminated anybody who was even potentially a snitch. But now, since the end of season 2 with Vic, Tommy has switched things up. The next clip shows Tommy at JP's house, Miriam's old house. So Tommy will most likely talk to JP in episode 5 for the first time this season. But more importantly, look at the expression on Tommy's face, like he's surprised. So this could potentially be JP telling Tommy about the letter Kate got from Diane Tejada, but Tommy will be told Monet Tejada back in New York. And the final clip from the trailer shows Tommy calling Claudia and telling her that he has a way that they can bury the hatchet and that they need to meet alone. So this is really what Claudia has been waiting for Tommy to try to make a move against her so she can help the feds catch Tommy trying to kill her. But with that said, I don't think Tommy is going to try to make a move against Claudia right now either, because the fact he just watched her leave the jail with the marshal's protection and has to know the only reason why she got out is because she's snitching. So I think Tommy could potentially either use this meetup with Claudia as a way to try to get her to help him take out Vic so him and Claudia can have a truce for now, or he'll use this as an opportunity to give the Marquez cartel the drop of where Claudia is going to be and send them into a trap to kill Claudia instead of going himself. And as far as Diamond and Gennard and the common enemy that brings them closer, the trailer doesn't show any clips concerning this, but this is the episode where the biker shows up and wipes out a bunch of people for Diamond and Gennard. So at this point, it's hard to say who the biker's gonna be, but it could potentially be D-Mac now that he's back in CBI. And in regards to the enemy that the description mentions, I think it's either the Yardis and their leader Zamos or people from Rojas's crew. Keeping in mind a couple episodes ago, Jannard mentioned that the Yardis were in the streets wilding. So he had to believe that that was going to come back into play at some point in season 3. And the trailer also shows two guys, potentially the Yardis or Rojas's people, shooting at somebody as well. So this might be the episode where we see that. But it's definitely the episode where we see the biker wipe a bunch of people out in front of Diamond. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.